Um, it's crazy. I think it kind of depends. I think I'm always switched on when it comes to music. Like I'll always be on alert. If I'm feeling something at the time, I'll write down the feeling. Or if I feel like I'm inspired emotionally by something that is creative. Like if I hear a specific sound and it makes me feel a specific way, then I'll kind of note that and try and stay present in that moment as much as I can. So when I need to go back to it and use it as inspiration, I can kind of tap into it.
Excuse me, and I take off the hoodie.
Oh, dirty.
Immediately, he decides to wear it.
Yeah, it's because you're cold, right?
No, it's not because he's cold. And if it is, he'll intentionally not bring a hoodie or a jacket so that he can be like, oh, can I?
Planning
He
ahead.
won't even ask me.
I'm a
He won't
proactive
even ask,
person.
though.
I'd like to think I'm an organized person.
Yeah.
That's a clear example of it.
I'm all for it. He's definitely a forward thinker.
No, you know people can't see your eyes, right?
They can't see my eyes.
Fuck. Show us those big, beady.
It's up to you, but
Is that better?
a little bit. But when you're talking, yeah.
Okay.
You can put the stand up as well, so you don't have to slouch if you want.
Looks gangster though when you slouch.
Yeah, no, I'm okay with this. I like this. I feel at home.
That was
here.
an easy twist.
Yeah.
When you say your socials, that's your camera.
When I say my socials.
We'll tell him at the end. We'll tell him at the end.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What is going on with this?
I don't
man?
need two, man. It's all good. I got mine.
Huh?
So you told me to slouch, but you're only gonna slouch. You're not.
I like
can't.
perfect posture.
I
Oh.
can't because it doesn't go any lower, and I'm short. So,
Yeah. Plus his chair ends up just sliding down.
bro, honestly, I have to change it all the time.
It's great.
There's gonna be a moment where you just like in slow motion, mid sentence, just go.
I just do
like-
these ones. Just
Wow.
continue.
I don't know. Yes.
Shall we begin?
Let's begin.
Are we ready?
Okay. Okay.
I think we're ready.
All right. Ready?
Ready? I mean, English is my second language.
Same.
Okay.
Canadian
yours-
doesn't count as the first language.
No, French.
French.
Ah.
Yeah.
He was lying.
So is it not? Plot twist.
All right. What up, guys? Welcome back to Fresh and Zesty, where we give you the tips and the tricks to get you famous.
Facts. You also forgot to mention that we are the number one podcast.
We are the
music
number one
podcast.
music podcast
It is
in the
Australia.
world.
It's Australia.
No, in the world.
What? Okay. Milwaukee?
No.
Anywho, today, guys, we have a special guest.
Zesty.
He is Zesty, and he's also, you might have heard some of his bangers actually on the radio. It is Drake.
Oh my god. So that's how we're starting.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
That's how it's beginning.
Man, look, honestly,
Wait, so, serious question, actually. Like, being Drake, do you find you get laid a lot?
For being Drake, I think I'm not doing it right.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If that's
That
the
is crazy.
criteria, yeah.
You were like the number one sensation in the world.
I don't know whether to be happy about this or like mad about this.
we were just talking to somebody else. It's energy. It's all energy.
It's all energy. And right now,
just
your
depends.
energy needs
That
to
is the
how you
energy.
take it.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's
you
not
can
the.
take it as a positive or a negative.
Yeah.
You know what? To give context, I just shaved my head like 2 days ago to do the whole Drake cut. I had the curls.
Oh.
I actually had distinctive things about me
He
that
did.
weren't like
He
Drake
really did.
qualities.
But you
And-
had to make sure you matched it with Drake as much as possible.
Yeah. I think yeah.
So can we see that haircut?
I mean,
Wow.
Zesty.
To be fair, actually, now that that's off, I think you look more like the guy out of The Punisher.
what's Punisher?
The Marvel Punisher?
Yeah, the new TV show on Netflix.
No, I haven't seen it.
You look like the other guy who's the good-looking guy. So,
Oh.
well done.
Okay.
Well done,
I
genetics,
appreciate
mum
that.
and dad for
Shout out mom and dad.
Rachad.
Shout out the
Is it Rachad? Rashad?
Rachad.
Rachel?
I didn't tell him.
Nobody's by the end of this podcast. Nobody's gonna actually know what my real name is.
It's Rachel, guys.
It's-
Okay,
it's actually-
sorry.
It's Rachel.
It's Rachel.
Yeah.
It's Drayshard.
Drayshard? Okay.
I forgot. Excuse me while I just
Well, we have some...
get my notes up.
Yeah, get your notes
Because
ready, baby.
like you, I like to be organized.
Okay.
I actually learnt from you.
Oh, that's definitely not true. That cannot be true.
No, it isn't.
I thought you were gonna be like
Banger.
nice. You know what I mean? Like just a mean comment, a nice comment. Me, you know, I thought it was gonna be like
No,
that.
we don't do good cop, bad cop. We just do
bad cop,
I
bad
just
cop.
do okay.
Yeah.
See, I wish I had this kind of introduction into this experience beforehand, so I could have readied myself.
Yeah, but why would we?
We need balance.
It's like when people
So for
come.
anyone who's not watching, we were actually really polite to Drake this morning when he came in, and now he's like really hating this.
false sense of security. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, but it's like when people come to my house for the first time. I don't tell them about
Your dad?
my dad,
Yeah.
and then, well, you both.
Look, surprise is the best thing ever.
It is the best thing ever.
Yeah. Because like, where's that wow factor when you meet your dad? If you're like, hey, heads up, your dad's gonna question everything about your life.
Yeah.
Just be prepared to have some answers.
To be fair, like I think even if you did give people a warning,
They
they
wouldn't-
still wouldn't
Oh,
be
yeah.
ready. Like they wouldn't know what to expect.
They'd be like, just ask me what I do. So, yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we were saying this in the car. Like, pretty sure his dad used to like correct him, like, "Dad, I want to play with a red block." No, you don't. No, you don't. Why do you think you want to play with a red rock? Red block.
Question it.
Nah,
like-
dad was mad.
Mini philosophies.
Oh yeah. By the way, guys, we're taking these like completely. Like, I love his dad.
Me too.
Yeah.
I love you
Everyone
more.
loves your dad.
That's
out,
very true.
Mr.
Everyone does
Chunky.
love my dad.
Yeah, man. That's where you get it from. That's why everyone loves you.
Oh yeah,
You
you
get
reckon?
that from.
Yeah,
Also your
it's
mom.
collateral from your dad. Like everyone like
Yeah.
loves your dad.
Collateral just makes it seem like I don't
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Oh.
But
I'm really bad at words, so let's just not hold me to this higher standards,
fair
please.
enough.
Shout out to the
why-
Muskets.
That's
Shout
why
out to
we
the
say
Muskets.
these things.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out to the Muskets.
Shout out to the
And my
Muskets.
brother,
All of them. Everyone. Shout out Mo.
Moe.
Mo. I like to call him Mo because my dad's name is Mo.
That's fair.
Feels very
it's
familiar.
not
Does he
mine.
have a moustache?
Moe does, yeah, definitely.
My dad.
Well, both do, yeah. Sometimes.
Mustache beard
It
thing.
depends.
He used to have a mustache like back in like when he was like 20, and he used to wear like the white linen pantsuits and stuff. He used to look like James Franco and stuff now.
So
with the big ass mustache.
So what you're saying is your whole family imitates famous people.
I'm saying famous people imitate my whole family. How about that one?
Reverse imitation, gotcha.
Shout out Justin Timberlake. I mean my little brother Danny.
Yeah, I wasn't going
So
to.
really,
but
it
I
is
wasn't
the
gonna
whole
say it,
family.
but of course,
It is
like,
a thing.
yeah.
Okay,
My
cool.
mom's the only original one, and she kept her last name.
What's
so
it
it kind
like
of makes
having good
sense.
genetics in your family? That must be hard.
Good
Like,
genetics.
well, all of you all look like attractive celebrities.
Me and my family.
Well, yeah, like if you can imitate Justin Timberlake, Drake, James Franco, I mean, your parents are doing something right.
Yeah.
Which all three of those guys are very different looking. Which
Extremely, yeah. And I don't look like anyone in my family. I don't think. I think me and my brother looked a little bit alike at first.
did
but-
you ever like wonder if you're adopted?
Yeah, my brother used to try and convince me. I used to successfully like convince my brother of the most evil things. Like I used to convince him to cut his hair like by himself for no reason. Like when he was like 6 and 7 years old, my mom would come back and there'd be hair and shit like just all over the kitchen floor. And she's like, "What happened?" I was like, "Your son is just crazy." I just like I literally just mess around, which makes sense why he has like crazy haircuts now. So yeah,
It's in his
it's in his genes.
No, so I mean, look, we like to talk shit on this podcast, but we also want to give people some things, that help them in their career as musicians and a part of the music industry.
Yeah.
So some of the questions I wanted to talk to you about today is because I work on, a fair bit of your stuff.
You do? Well, I knew I recognized
To be
this
fair,
place
it's
when I
news to
walked
me
in.
as well.
Like, I knew this place looked familiar.
It's different with all the lights and stuff.
Yeah.
Man, it looks professional now.
We should record like next time like this with these lights in here.
You reckon?
know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right.
Like, much more like
You wouldn't just
dramatic.
like red lights?
I mean, you're right.
It's just constant.
You are a bigger Drake fan than I am. Is that why you're
To be
nervous?
fair, I have TikTok. That's the only reason I know about Kiki.
Fair enough.
He doesn't know why he loves Kiki.
No, I know, but I do. Do you
her.
love me? Is that
Are you right?
past Kiki? That's the only fucking lyric I know. Okay.
I'm probably the same.
But
Just don't tell Drake. Don't tell Dad. You know what
what do you mean? I can't. I'm not going to tell you. It's okay. It's
I
fine.
mean? Wow. Wow.
So yeah, I wanted to go through a bit of like how you create, because one of the things I like bringing up on the podcast is different artists' ways of their creative process and how they come up with songs and
Yeah.
inspiration and things like that.
Yeah.
So first off the bat, like run us through a bit of your creative process. Like how do you approach things?
Like creating music wise, as in just making stuff, or like
More, I guess more so the writing. Like
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I've been making music since I was like 15, 16 in high school, like the typical, like, you know, I started off making rap music and stuff like that. And at the time, it was more of a way to just express like really basic things that I was feeling, like just in a way that rhymed and whatever. And eventually, as I just started listening to more genres and experiencing music in different ways and learning to appreciate so many different things in the spectrum of music, not just the, you know, writing aspect of it, I just started to experiment. I'd start to, you know, sometimes write lyrics down, sometimes freestyle, sometimes spend a long time on music, sometimes not at all. And yeah, I think just based on experimenting with so many different types of processes, now I kind of know which processes, you know, are right for me depending on which song I want to make, what kind of vibe I want to go for.
So would you switch up your process depending on?
Yeah, 100%. And I didn't think I was going to. I thought when I was like experimenting at the time and developing that it was going to be something for me to find one process that I'd stick in, because as far as I was concerned, that was how most artists, you know, would kind of work.
Yeah.
And then I started to realize that being someone who wanted to engage with so many different styles of music authentically, that the process of making those music is also what contributes to the authenticity of the sound itself. So, for example, like I'm making, you know, some more, not mainstream, but some more easier to listen to heavy hitting songs right now. And the process was way different. You know, I'd you know, have people in the studio where I usually like to record alone, or I'd have a drink with me or a couple of drinks with the boys beforehand and turn up, you know, and create that kind of energy. Whereas, you know, previously we like to get into like really intense red light, low moods. So yeah, so I definitely think it changed with the sound. Yeah,
I like that. I like that. And where would you? So when you're writing and things like that, obviously, you know, you've got your different processes.
Yeah.
What you're writing about, like, where do you draw your inspiration from? Is it quite similar? Like, do you get into a mood to draw inspiration from, or do you have a topic ahead of time? Or
it's crazy. I think it kind of depends. I think I'm always switched on when it comes to music. Like, I'll always be on alert. If I'm feeling something at the time, I'll write down the feeling. Or if I feel like I'm inspired emotionally by something that, you know, is creative. Like if I hear a specific sound and it makes me feel a specific way, then I'll kind of note that and try and stay present in that moment as much as I can. So when I need to go back to it and use it as inspiration, I can kind of tap into it. Yeah. So I definitely think, you know, like feelings, especially like towards women. I think just experience. That's funny, eh?
What do you mean by that, huh?
I don't know. I'm extremely.
Drake doesn't have problems with women.
Drake. Me neither. Nah, I'm playing.
Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean? No. I forgot we had that one.
That shit hurt my feelings. Though. Actually, like literally.
No, what do you mean by that? Like, is it
like feeling towards women's, as in like, you know, like going through, you know, an argument, or, you know, like not knowing how you feel about someone, or, you know, like
you accidentally put on her jeans?
That's never happened, thankfully.
That sucks.
Actually, has happened to me.
Put on their jeans?
Yeah, well, I looked really good in them.
I mean, if it works, it works.
Yeah,
I made it work.
I mean, people can know. People don't have to know.
Do you have photo confirmation?
To be fair, half my wardrobe is actually females' clothes.
I mean,
Stacey influences that.
Fair. That makes sense.
Shout out Stacey then, you know?
Yeah, shout out, babe.
Yeah. That's why he's looking so slick today.
These are female pants, by the way.
Okay.
But you would never guess, would you?
I mean, I didn't until you said that.
Yeah, the trick is look at the ass. Don't look at my ass, you perverts.
Damn. My fault.
It's like the bum's different in guys' pants than for females. Fun fact. I mean, like, I never really knew that.
I didn't know I needed to know that, but
now you do.
I do know.
You could write a song about it.
There you go.
I think T-Pain already did.
Really?
Yeah.
It's all in the butt?
Apple bottom jeans.
Boots with his fur?
Yeah.
Florida.
That was Florida.
Florida.
Calvin Harris. Context, Jamie can't pronounce like the Arabic ha sound.
It's really difficult, man.
And so like my last name is pronounced Alef, but he can't do the ha.
What is it?
Alef. So like if you were to pronounce it like in English, it'd be Alaf. Like that's how you would say it.
That is
but
funny.
in Arabic, we would say ha. Like there's like a pronunciation of like a letter. Yeah. And now Jamie's trying to train himself.
Well, I love
throat movement that I just
See, I sound like I
do.
just held back a
trying to get him to.
How do you? Allah.
Ha.
Oh.
It's like it's like regurgitating almost.
I'm not gonna try.
What a beautiful language. Shout out Arabic.
Yeah.
Hope my grandma doesn't see this. I swear I'm not being sarcastic. I promise.
No, I think it's quite a beautiful language. I actually enjoy listening to it.
Yeah.
Like when you speak, or like when I'm at your house and your mum or dad speaks.
That's because you speak more Arabic than I do.
That's such a lie.
That is so
bro.
true. Man.
It's all about tonality, though. I feel like if they're having an excitable conversation,
It always sounds
it
excitable.
sounds aggressive, but if it's quiet, it's quite a beautiful language.
Yeah.
No, it
You
just
know, like,
always for me sounds excitable.
if you're not listening to
Maybe they're
someone
just
talk, it's like,
Yeah,
and you're like,
extremely
holy
exciting.
shit, there's a fight about to break out. But they're like, I just had a great day today, guys.
Yeah. You know how people complain that sometimes like they find football, like soccer, boring to watch, Just put on like a stream with Arab commentators and I
man.
guarantee like you won't be bored. It's literally the most entertaining thing I've ever seen. It's amazing. You think I'm playing, but like everyone go and watch Arab commentators on like football games, especially when like Ronaldo or Messi play. They love it more than like their own country does. I swear to God. That's exactly what I'm gonna do when I go home now. It's the first thing I'm gonna search.
Yeah,
up.
I feel like I'm just gonna go home now and just search. What do you Arabic narrating?
Arabic commentator
Commentating.
on football game. Yeah,
Amazing.
Shout
Can you
out
give us an example?
I couldn't. I can call it. I'll call my uncle. He's probably one of them that does it. So
To his account.
shout out Uncle Nabil. Yeah. No, I'm playing.
You've got some music coming up.
Yeah.
I know because I worked on some of it.
Yeah. Once again, news to me. I'm
yeah,
very surprised. Yeah, I did
Look,
not.
He is in the credits, right?
No. Jimmy just doesn't want any credit for anything.
He's very humble.
Yeah.
Very humble guy.
Yeah,
I will
maybe a
bring it
little,
up, though.
maybe a little too.
It's like, no, it's cool. No, so I did it, but like,
But like, it's all good. Yeah.
it's no, it's fine.
Yeah,
It's fine.
yeah.
No, but so you got some music coming up.
Yeah.
And I like another thing apart from like the process and things like that, which is super, super interesting.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Thank you. Any like strategies on how you're going about your releases, and because we've spoken about
You're
this.
moving your head in a very sensual way then. Like you're vibing with
Why
it.
did you stop it? Like I was like really.
I don't know. It's like a
like
cobra
really
dancing in
drawn
front of a
in.
man with a
I
flute.
know.
Is that a new song?
No.
That's
Working on
Snake
it.
Channel.
Is it?
Yeah.
Shit.
With the snake thing? Yeah, yeah. It's like remember we used to play Tetris on Game Boy Color? Yeah, it was, you never did that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna recite the whole thing.
You guys know way more than I anticipated on this subject.
Bro, it is like the
Is
number
Nabil
one
a
song.
snake charmer?
No. Okay, but he's like the least like stereotypical like Lebanese dude as well. So my uncle's very proper. I'm sorry, uncle. I did not want to misrepresent who you are. We love you. I miss you. We'll see you soon.
Shout out Nabil.
Shout out Uncle Nabil. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So like what are some of the things that you've learnt, I guess, in this process of like coming up to like release more music?
Yeah.
That have changed what you think and how you plan to release, and like why?
Yeah.
Why are you
Pretty
releasing
like-
music?
No, but like why did you change?
Nobody wants to hear that shit. Like, why did I change like from what I originally thought? Like in all honesty, I think so, like as you know, I started the project that I'm going to be releasing next, or my debut project. It's called Nights Like This, and I think how we went from doing the project originally a couple of years ago to now really kind of shows how I changed my mentality for wanting to release it. And honestly, I think it was the environment that I was in at the time. The people that I was surrounded by were kind of, trying to tell me that the biggest ambition you could have when releasing music is trying to get on Spotify playlists. I think that was the biggest kind of thing. And I think that was a way for a lot of people. So at the time, that was my biggest focus. Like we were, researching analytics about average song plays, like length of songs and stuff like that, and which genres, in instruments, what was popping, so like the bass line in 2015 and stuff like that, and then the guitars and the flutes and all that kind of stuff now. So at the time, that's what I kind of thought was the most important thing. And once we decided to go back and rework the project and do something a little bit more ambitious and something that kind of pushed me a little bit harder as a singer and as a writer, and then pushed the boys a little bit harder as producers, I kind of started to network with some people who were a bit more ambitious with the business side of things and kind of had a bit of a bigger scope of knowledge when it came to these kind of things, and taught me about things like distribution deals in other countries and learning how to license your music out while holding the rights ultimately to the rest of your music, after the deal expires and whatever. So yeah, I think definitely traveling and working with other artists in other countries, that was like a really big one, because they were the ones that kind of put me on to, the possibility of getting other types of deals that didn't really take your complete publishing away or your masters away. So yeah, I think taking the development side a little bit more seriously and trying to like put out something that's a bit more I don't know, a bit more polished and a bit more like well-rounded. You kind of start to take the distribution side of things seriously and yeah.
So you've educated yourself with the business side of it.
I've tried
a lot lately.
Yeah, I've tried to. I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie. It's the thing that I detest the most about music, and I'm self-managed.
But it's important, right?
Yeah, it's super important, and I'm just as creative as the next person, and I just want to say, oh yeah, I'm just about the arts and the crafts and whatnot. But a big part of like why I do what I do is I want to connect with as many people as I can, and to a certain extent, it can mean sacrificing your sound, and the other end of the spectrum is getting to know the business and having that dichotomy of being a creative but also being an organized business person, which isn't always a compatible thing within one person, but hey, you make do, you figure it out. And if you've got a team of people like we have, who kind of all help each other and kind of do the research and go on and collaborate and get knowledge from the people around them as well, by the time you come together and by the time you have a bit of a foundation, and I mean, we spent about 3-4 years now working on music before we're going to release officially. So by that point, we're just like a hot box of information, and now I think it's going to start to show.
Well, I remember when I met you way back in, it was like you were really particular. This is a recount of what you were telling me. How you guys were really particular with like a sound of even a kick. Like you'd spend like an hour and a half on a kick sound.
Yeah.
Is that what you do now, or are you finding it's like maybe not as necessary to think that deep into a small part of the sound, and you sort of look more holistically, or are you that precise on every aspect?
I think we're still pretty detail oriented.
I think we're just quicker at it.
I think we're a lot quicker, and I think I mean, we had a lot of chemistry when we first started, in terms of how we kind of worked off of each other. And every single one of us, so within our team, like as a little intros, Chunkyluv is one of the main producers that I have. Another one of the boys is called Markeda, who's also a producer, and our boy Mixed by Mixtry, Vivek. And so every single one of us...
Shout out Vivek.
Yeah, shout out Vivek. Despite the fact that obviously I'm not a producer or a mix engineer and stuff or anything like that, I still try and learn the very basics so I know how to communicate with them a bit more efficiently and stuff like that. So I think every single one of us kind of does that with each other, and it kind of streamlines the entire process so that the people who are experts at what they do have trust from everybody else and know that when they're going to try something, it's not that feeling of, oh, is this artist going to like it? And I don't know, like, you're a producer. Do you ever get it sometimes when like you're worried when you get given a task or a beat to make, you have to kind of confine it to whatever the artist will like, and it kind of...
Yeah, well, I mean, not so much that, but it's more like, oh, will the artist like this?
Yeah.
I find that a lot.
It's like in the back of your head when you're making...
Majority of my sessions, yeah, especially if it's a first session with someone.
Yeah.
And there's been no like clear... If we haven't really, built a rapport, and it's just like, oh, hey, like I heard so-and-so and like so-and-so referred you, like they said you're really good.
Yeah.
Can we get in and do a session? And it's like, okay, yeah, cool. But it's like, you have to have those conversations where you get to know people, and not just like, oh yeah, so what sort of music are you listening to?
Yeah.
Like, what are you trying to achieve with your music? Like, what are you doing? Do you want to, focus on, being a star and, like mainstream, things like that? Or do you want to develop a sound that's just you know, like there's so many different ways that you can take it.
So can we talk about that for a second? You know how when people are giving you references and stuff like that, when people say, oh, this is like the music that I'm into, I think that's actually like, it can be just as confusing for a producer, because you could have a person, like 10 people listen to the same thing and say that they like the same thing, but will have different aspects of that reference that they'll like. So I know sometimes like, this is when I'm talking to people about experiencing music and how much it has to do with your creative side. When you give someone a reference for, like, and I do it, and it messes with people, because I'll give someone a reference and I will not want anything in that except for maybe a little pattern in the drums or like a synth in there. But then you have these artists, I think, that are a little bit more constricted to things like vibe and mood and tones and stuff like that. And it'll be like a lot less specific. Yeah. But I always find, I find like from my experience, people just kind of want to go for the vibe. But I think it'd be dope for people to like start to be a bit more specific and be like, like they experience music in a way that allows them to say, I want to take that from it. And I think producers are awesome at that
Yeah.
because, you know, things like sampling and that's what it kind of entails. But songwriters are a little bit more confined.
I think that comes in time as well. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you can play a song to someone who's just gen pop,
Yeah.
and they hear everything as one clump. Whereas, you know,
Yeah.
like
They don't
you-
pick it apart.
Yeah, you'd pick it
Yeah.
apart. Like, you know, same as like when someone who's got an experience of movie writing
Yeah,
or
like
when
you
production.
watch movies, you think about the angles and
Yeah,
Yeah,
coloring.
without even thinking about it though.
Yeah.
Like I just look at it and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, that was here. The camera was there. They've cut it to this. Like all in an instant like that. I think that's something that would definitely come in time because, yeah, when you first start out with music, you're just like, I like the song.
Yeah.
And then now, after a while, like you said, like you're now hearing it differently because of you've sat down for hours on end creating a drum beat, and now you'll
Yeah.
hear that drum beat or drum beats in songs and go, I like
Yeah.
that component.
Yeah. And it goes all the way. Sorry, it goes all the way up to things like mixing, things like
See, I wouldn't know what to listen for with mixing.
yeah, and I didn't either. And it's one of those moments. Have you like you've seen the commercials for chewing 5 gum? That's the only way that I can explain when you experience like what mixing is for the first when you actually start to realize things. You hear things. That's what it feels like. Like when you just experience like what, and you realize how important it is, and like how much goes into like crafting the sound that you want.
Those ads are the best.
Oh my god, like the watermelon like juice. Just like, oh my god, it's
That's
like,
what it feels like.
Like
Isn't
shout
that
out,
Fisherman's Friend as well?
yeah,
When a guy-
Fisherman's Friend,
when
like
he-
the
when he-
whole water, like
and you just get slapped with a fish.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it feels like.
yeah. Shout out Fisherman's Friend. Shout out 5 Gum and Skittles. And
Skittles,
Sprite,
bro.
they're holding down all the ad campaigns. Like, yeah. I want those people to do our content.
That'd be mad.
You know what I mean? Like,
That'd be expensive, but that'd be mad.
yeah,
No, well, I mean, you know, like to that fact, I think it's, you know, just as important for the producer to know what questions to ask. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Because like,
sure.
yeah, like I've had 4 different artists give me the exact same song as a reference.
yeah.
Not all of them want the exact same thing
Yeah,
out of that song,
that's
though.
right.
Probably 4 different opinions.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like, you know, okay, so, you know, so and so like this is like, well, what do you like about it? The guitars.
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, it's, to be honest, it's a little bit different for me because if somebody sends me a reference with a guitar in there, I know
They probably
that
want a guitar.
they want a guitar
And
like
it's
that.
you.
Because it's
they
because
want
it's me.
you, yeah,
because
yeah.
it's me. And they're like, he'll be able to do this.
Yeah.
Other times it's like, you know, it's like a list of songs in a reference playlist and it's like all different.
Yeah.
Like they're so different. All the songs are so different. It's like,
Like
well,
James Blunt, then like
Well, yeah, like just different.
6ix9ine.
Yeah.
James
James 6'9".
9.
James 9.
Blunt 9.
Wow.
Six
But
blunts.
you know, it's that sort of thing where it's like, okay, well, cool. Then you like, you know, it's part like, you know, you can't just rely on the artist to be to have the knowledge to be like, this is what I like at this. This is what I like about this.
Yeah.
If they do have that, mad, it makes the conversation so much quicker. But it's also on the producer to be like, well, okay, what parts specifically? And if they're like, I just like the track, it's like, okay, cool. Well, we'll go for the vibe. We don't go for the individual
Yeah.
elements. We go for certain
Yeah.
the whole scape of it.
Yeah.
But you know, if you like a certain thing, you know, and they're not telling you, then you have to ask.
Yeah.
You know? It's
Yeah.
all about communication at the end of the day.
Yeah. I think that's what makes also like you can talk about chemistry all you want, like when you work with people that you just know straight away, you click and you work well. But like as a producer who, or like I know for myself as a songwriter who does different genres and wants to work with different people, you still have to find ways to connect with people as best as you can and create chemistry kind of sometimes. And I think that's where it lies. It's when, you know, as a producer, you like have the intuition to be able to recognize what it is within the artist and what they want to get out of you, and kind of vice versa, having an artist extend and be able to try and communicate what they want in a way that you'll understand too. And I think once that happens, it creates like relationships where you continue to just make dope shit that just sounds natural and authentic.
Yeah, it sounds authentic to
Yeah.
both parties, which I think is super important.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, like you can go into a session and just write something or just create something, and that's cool.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing wrong with that, you know. That's a lot of sessions.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, if you want to go a little bit deeper,
Yeah.
go deeper. Like, you know, be open to talk about yourself, be open to talk about what you want out of this career, you know.
Yeah,
like
that's
it's I find that so important.
Yeah.
I try to do that with all the artists that I work with, you know, regardless if it's just one session or if it's just, you know, a particular job, but I still try and create a rapport with them, not just like, here's your thing, I'll take the money, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just a service, you know what I mean? We do music because we love music, we love art, you know?
It's also long term too. Like reputation doesn't take long to catch up, and if you're known for as someone who just takes the cash and runs, then it's very quickly going to be known that don't work with that guy.
Well, I mean, you know, like it might be like, well, obviously in different scenarios, but like, it might be like, oh yeah, no, he's great at what he does. It's just, you know, there's no.
He's a butthole.
Well, no, you don't even have to be rude about it.
Yeah.
If it's a service, it's a service. It's totally understandable.
Yeah.
Sometimes jobs are like that. It's just, we need
It's
this,
like
you can do this,
transactional.
that's it, whatever.
Yeah.
But, you know, adding that personal touch, that's what makes people, that's what makes people refer you to somebody else and be like, oh, you know what? Like, I had a great experience because he actually he gave me some mix notes before he mastered it, or asked me if, you know, I was open to changes, if, you know, I was open to hearing his feedback, or, you know, like if this was actually the final mix, like, it's, you know, like, you know.
So it's communication and paying it forward in little bits. Like,
Always,
you know,
always.
give him 10% more if it's even just information, like you're saying.
Yeah.
That'll pay itself back tenfold later. Because, like, again, if you gave him 10% extra in information or whatever, then they give you one person goes with you, you know. You've gotten a whole new client as a result, which is not just the one transaction or song or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That second person now is going to be talking and doing more stuff with you over and over and over.
And that person might be like, oh, you know, I see that you don't actually just do this job, but you do all these jobs as well. Like, what are your rates? What do you do? And then it opens up a whole thing.
That's right, yeah.
A whole different ballgame. But I mean, I think that's why we, you know, our crew works so well together. Yeah. Like the four of us and everybody that works with us. I think now more so than ever, because we've come to such a point where we can like accept all our different roles in the process. You know what I mean? We're not like, I mean, we'll still offer feedback, obviously, you know, to whoever's doing what, but it's like, if, like you said before, it's like if what are their names? If Vivek was doing something and it's at a point where it's like, you know what? He knows what he's got to do. Yeah. We don't have to breathe over his neck to ask him to make these like changes or like to look out for these things. He knows his job. He knows what he's doing. Yeah. He knows what I want, you know, what you want. That's right. And he'll, you know, he'll do it.
That's super important.
Super important.
It's, I think, it goes into something like trust, but I think it's also like you as someone who doesn't have an expertise in one of the things that's being, you know, combined into your music. So if, you know, I think for myself, like I'm a songwriter and a you know, a performer, a singer, but I don't necessarily have an expertise in things like production. So it's a big trust thing, but it's also knowing that the people that you're surrounded by have an idea of the things that inspire you and then also execute that idea in a way that utilizes their expertise in a way that you couldn't. So I think it's that, and I think it's hard as an artist, like, to let people in, especially when you have such an overarching idea of the things that you want to do, the sounds that you want to use, and especially when you have an idea even of the, you know, things within production or things within mixing. But that's where you start to look at people around you as more of an asset. Like, it's like, wow, like these people already understand what you're trying to do. They can, especially with us, I mean, I feel like you read my mind when it comes to the beats that you make. So, I think securing that connection with the team that you have around you, if you're blessed enough to have a team, because I know that's, you know, especially now, most people are just recording in their rooms using internet beats and things like that, which is amazing. Don't get it twisted, but.
Well, building a team takes time too. And like, you know, I think people get very concerned with. Again, it's a shitload easier just to stay at home. Yeah, it's a lot easier to just find a beat on, you know, beats.com or whatever. Like, it's a lot easier.
Shout out beats.com.
Shout out.
Sounds like a dope website.
It actually does. Very easy to find.
It's just like farm, like beat farms, just a bunch of them for sale. It's like beats.
But that's the thing. It's like, I think people don't realize that building a team is hard, and it's never going to be perfect. Yeah. I think we're always trying to search for the destination. Like, sometimes where you're at the moment, does it exist?
No.
Beats.com?
Beats Web. You're on beatsweb.com.
Did you type in beats as in Beets, like beats?
Like beetroot?
Like beats, yeah.
No.
Beats.com.
Not now, Diction.
Not that.
It just comes
Shout out
up.
Dwight
Beats
from the
Web.
office.
Oh, they're
These
trying to
guys-
sell it. So Beats.com, guys, if anyone's out there, Beats.com's for sale. I don't know how much it is.
BEET.
How much is it?
I don't know.
Anyway, it's going to be ups and downs. It's going to be, there's going to be times where maybe someone at that point in your career is really good.
Yeah.
And then you reach another level and they're not good. Or they might reach another level and you're no longer a right fit for them. That's fine. Get back on the horse and find someone else. You
Yeah.
know, like it's never going to be perfect. I think we hear those dream stories where someone's been working together for their entire career and people
can relate.
people
Yeah.
long for that. And I think sometimes we might get stuck, or artists get stuck, or producers get stuck working with them because it's like a relationship.
Yeah.
You don't break up with the person because you're longing for that dream
Yeah.
relationship versus the reality, which is, all right now not good. Let's
Yeah.
move on to the next person.
Yeah.
And I mean, and apart from that, it's also like just because you have that relationship with that one person, it doesn't mean that you cannot try other things.
Of course not.
So it's like you can still keep that and be like that. That will be your main person,
It's
or
be promiscuous.
Yeah.
But like there's no there's no
like
harm in.
He said that really sensual. I like that.
Apparently, I say everything really sensual.
To be
You
fair.
talk really like.
Don't say it.
Ow.
Like,
Talk dirty to me.
like who?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Zesty.
Like me.
Why does everyone flirt with you on this podcast?
I
Now
don't
you,
know. I
now you
can't-
get
I
guys
can't help
flirting with
it.
you, dude.
I
Look,
can't help it.
Look, man.
That's my guy though.
I'm telling you, it's the beard.
You should be in.
It's definitely a beard.
Yeah, bearded brothers. You should be in here in the room when we're actually making
Love?
that's what we call our songs. Like we don't make music, we make moments of love.
Momentary memories.
Momentary
actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Aha.
There's a term we came up with.
Momentary memories?
Momentary
I
memories.
like that.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's that.
Sounds a little gay.
That. Well,
It was. Yeah.
It was an EP
Yeah.
we were gonna release.
We had
Momentary
EP
memories?
together. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stacey's already going to buy one from you, so.
Oh yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Trademark
You
that.
should.
It's
Yo,
like-
She got
don't
done
steal our title.
She's
eh?
done
Like,
gone for copyright the other days, and now she's like, every time any idea.
word.
Copyright.
Yeah.
yeah. Y'all better not catch me seeing momentary memories surfing on the web.
You should word mark that.
Word mark. I'm doing it right now. Timestamp the day today.
Yeah.
It's
308
Sunday.
Sunday.
308 Sunday.
13th of September.
It was written.
Americans
You know.
too far behind.
Yeah.
Come for 'em.
But yeah, we came up with it because we were writing about certain things, but the idea of momentary memories.
What
is
was that? Wait. What was that? What
We
were
were
you
just
Would you
writing
like to
about?
explain what the certain things were
Yeah.
specifically?
Explain
No,
it.
I'm just gonna
Dive
explain
into it.
the
I
meaning
feel like
behind momentary memories.
My lips
which
are
Sure,
will-
yeah.
salivating. This is juicy.
It will.
which will explain what we were writing about. It's that
Go ahead.
it's that one point where something you're doing, for lack of a better word, a moment.
Wait. Why is that like a bit doing?
Well, because
I feel like this is to do with a
because
woman.
The title, right? It's always to do with a woman. It's
always to
R&B
do with
music.
a
Come on.
woman.
And it's this sexy Drake lookalike.
Oh my god.
You don't take
Sweet Moses.
it.
Actually, you do look like Moses as well, actually.
Shout out Moses.
Shout out Moses.
I agree. I look like Action Bronson, and it is sexy.
You know.
Anyways,
I'm just your average white guy. Look, we all need the Zesty.
Love that shit. It's so dope.
But it's that point in time where that becomes a memory. So that's why we came up with it. We're like, well, what's that moment? That one moment that turns not just a time in your life, but it becomes a memory, like a memory that jumps out to you.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Not just another oh yeah, that happened that day. Cool, cool.
A memory that you're gonna remember in the future.
So something traumatic, in a way. Like not
I
getting your
think-
milkshakes in time.
Let's why would you bring that up?
So soon.
You don't know
So
shit. I'm
soon.
already sensitive about the issue right now.
no.
There's reasons why a man is
yeah.
okay. So and then he brought up the milkshake,
I know.
and she's sitting there with the curry chicken as well, as if I didn't see
Yeah,
her get it
she's
first.
rubbing it in. That is
Stacey,
evil,
that
Stace.
hurt. And it said menu log on it. You can explain. I'm not gonna.
Guys, if you're missing out what this is, he ordered a milkshake. Stacey ordered some curry. Like what? 15, 20 minutes later, her food.
17 minutes later.
Who's counting?
17. Oh, I have.
And Stacey's came early. It actually gave her a notification
Happens
saying
to
that it
me.
came on earlier than.
That was
accidental.
Happens to me all the time.
Actually, we probably just could cut that out.
That was actually quite memory.
It's like a momentary memory. Is that
Ooh. Speaking of collabs and how good we are,
okay?
what would your dream collab be?
Okay, like dead or alive.
Yeah, just whatever.
My biggest okay, there's too many. Like there's like way too many,
You
and
gotta pick
I'm
one.
ready for this.
One.
No, I can't do
You get,
one.
okay, you get two.
One.
One dead or alive, and one that's a goal.
So alive.
It's really sad.
Like obviously they're alive then.
Yeah, hey man, you never know what science is gonna do in the future.
That is true. Actually, bring back MJ.
Can it be like producer or artist or whatever? Like
What?
anything.
Well, it can be a company, it can whatever.
Coca-Cola.
I would love.
Travis and Macca's.
Yeah, I was gonna say Travis and Macca's.
That's crazy. How crazy is that?
Apparently, it's trash though.
Of course it's trash, but like how crazy is like it's McDonald's? Like
I want to know how big his bag was.
I mean, probably fucking huge. Like
Probably-
it's McDonald's.
At least a Big Mac.
And that was,
You get
to be
one
fair, they're not
free
that
Big
big
Mac.
anymore.
You get one free Big Mac, not
Isn't
a
it-
double Big Mac, one Big
I
Mac.
find it crazy that that's the first collab that McDonald's have done since MJ.
That's nuts.
That is nuts.
Do you think it should have been Travis Scott?
With McDonald's.
I don't.
Well, like if you're gonna choose somebody big, do you think it should have been Travis?
I mean, who else? I feel like he's got like that cool like childhood. Like he looked. The whole ad looked like it was like a new Happy Meal. That's what I thought
that's,
it was
That's
at
the
first.
thing. It's a Happy Meal. It's like, why not go with like Taylor Swift or Ariana Grande?
Do you think he's trying to broaden his fan base?
Maybe.
What, to 12-year-olds?
I don't know, man. I don't make the
mean-
rules.
It's like already probably like that.
Yeah,
That's
it is.
fast.
It is a weird collab. Apparently, have you seen the stuff on like Barstool where they're showing people that are going up, like asking for what is it?
Cactus Jack sent
Yeah,
me. That's what,
and people
yeah.
are just like the people in the drive-thru are like, oh fuck again.
They're-
Like
yeah.
they're getting so over
Poor
it
McDonald's employees. They must deal with a lot of shit.
for shit pay too.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did.
Yeah,
Don't know.
but what, can we
Yeah,
get it
who would it
here?
be?
Can we get Cactus Jack
Nah,
here?
not available in Australia or Canada.
Well, that's just racist.
Has
But
been
why not
verified.
Canada?
Yo, I don't even know. Eh?
There
How hard
re-
would it be to just walk across and just give it to the?
Wow.
You know what I mean?
There
like,
really is a war between Canada and America.
Look, it ain't a war, but we see you, eh? Like, I'm like, men's are not like looking away.
I mean, obviously, like, I don't want to bring it up again, but
what?
the whole delivery situation.
Move on.
We knew.
We need to move on.
Actually,
They
yeah, because
knew.
Stacey's American, you're Canadian. They fucking
Wait,
knew.
what part of America are you from?
West Virginia.
Oh, West Virginia. Okay, cool. I know where it is. Yeah, I used to.
in America,
I used to
obviously.
stay in like. Sorry,
I was in-
West Virginia. The first person, really?
Debatable.
Yeah, but like I think I'm going well traveled in the states.
on the Bible Belt.
anyways. It's what?
It's down the Bible Belt. It's not? Why does everyone have a Bible in West Virginia then?
I like the secret Bible.
No, they're not.
We don't have
I
it
walked
here.
in and I got tried to like. They tried to convert me the whole time I'm there.
Oh, really?
Oh, straight up. I say this endearingly.
Yeah.
I like if whatever makes you happy, hold on to it.
Sure.
Maybe not killing
But
people.
no.
Does the mic stand make you happy?
That is definitely a statement
That's
you
why
can't do.
he's holding
It.
on to it.
Yeah.
Just,
It's
just holding on, just gripping. No, I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, when someone doesn't have a problem with their life and then you're starting to be told that, you know, some people just start to try and
Yeah.
save you.
You just get excited and you want to talk about it.
It's like network marketing.
yeah.
Everyone starts telling everyone.
It's hard. It's hard because like and like I'm a person of faith as well. Like I'm religious, but it's like it's hard because you want to be a person that's like accepting of everyone, and you want to be able to say like, yeah, everyone can like live in harmony if we just kind of keep to ourselves with certain things. But I think what a lot of people don't realize is that it's like within those faiths, at least the Semitic faiths like Christianity and Judaism and Islam, it's like a essential part of the faith that you tell people about it, that
Yeah.
you like tell, and it's like a really like difficult thing to do because on one hand you don't want to alienate the people around you, and you want to be able to keep communicating with people properly, but on the other hand you have you know this like responsibility almost, like if you are religious or faithful,
Yeah.
that it's like your duty, to the extent of how you should communicate with people, what sort of social situations. I don't know. I think that's up to people to decide on their own like whim.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
I think it's humans just want to share what makes them happy.
True,
Like
yeah.
I read a book that I like called Irresistible. Shout out.
Yeah.
I think I've told 1,000 people that I read. Yeah, I told them in the last podcast. Yeah. Do you want to read it?
You actually wrote a book.
No, I read a book.
Oh,
Did I say wrote a
I thought
book?
you said wrote a book.
That would have
mean-
been like heartbreaking if he just found out about it on this podcast. Ladies and gentlemen.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like that book taught me a lot of things. I was telling everyone.
Yeah.
And I think it's just in our nature to tell people about things that make us happy.
Sure.
I think where it gets a problem is if I was telling someone, hey, you should read this book, Irresistible, not the Bible.
Yeah.
You have to read it. And
Yeah.
if you don't read it, you're not going to be happy.
Yeah,
And I think that's where it becomes like it's a pressuring thing. And like, that's why I say like with religion, like I am so fucking happy when people are happy from it.
Yeah.
It's like, because that is our ultimate goal. We want to be happy. If that is what the meaning of life is, who knows? It's when it becomes that thing, and I think it's where it just starts getting shoved down your throat. And I'm not talking about just religion; it's everything. Like if I love a cake, I'm not gonna like shove it down your throat.
Yeah.
I mean, you
you
could
know-
try. I'd probably eat it.
Oreo ice cream cake.
Oreo cake.
Oreo ice cream cake.
Oh, stop
I was
it.
7 years old. I still remember it, fam. It
What?
was that good.
It's not around.
I mean, I haven't found one in Australia. If y'all, okay,
that's
if
'cause we're
anyone
healthy
that is
here.
watching
Shout
this
out Australia.
podcast,
You know
and
what though? We have Freddo cakes, Freddo ice cream
I've
cakes
seen
here.
that.
I've seen it.
It's good.
And I hadn't had one since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I don't know what we were doing, but we were like, we should get one.
When was this?
Tell me.
I don't know, man. I can't remember, but it happened.
Were you intoxicated when you decided
Look,
to?
We've seen that at Woolworths. We have to go get one. now.
Regardless of if I was
if
drinking or not,
when you were drinking, yeah.
regardless of if I've ever drunk before,
You know what cap is? You just saw it.
I learned what that means the other day.
you did. He had no idea.
What cap? What
Yeah,
cap?
because
Like no cap.
Maxine said no cap, but I was like,
Yeah.
oh, what?
You're not wearing, like,
Like
we're,
no
we're not wearing
cappuccino?
hats. Like yeah.
Yeah, or like you know, like
No froth on
you
your
want a
cup.
latte instead? I'm fucking confused.
Flat white? Like what do you want?
It's a common term apparently.
No chocolate?
Yeah,
Thank you.
Flat white isn't a coffee.
It is.
it
It's
is.
not a coffee.
It is coffee.
Man.
It
It's
is.
not real coffee.
What are you talking about, man?
Just
You're from
milk.
Canada.
It's just milk.
Yeah, you're full of flat whites in Canada.
Jeez.
And vinegar on French fries.
Okay, like not all of us do
That's
it.
a Canadian thing.
There's so many Canadian things that
What about
people...
poutine?
Poutine.
What is it like being Canadian? It sounds stressful.
Stressful.
Yeah, everyone's against you.
Nah, only motherfuckers outside of Canada are against us. It's like we're walking around, everyone's just against each other. Like, I hate you. I don't know you, but I just don't like you.
Oh,
I
no,
want you to
stick
not
with your own.
succeed in
No,
life.
Canadians
you know?
are super nice. You could punch them in the face, and then they'll
Yeah.
apologize to you for their face getting in the way.
Yeah, I think it kind of. I think it depends. Like, I think for me, like, I think where I'm from Ottawa, which is like the capital, but it's a much smaller place compared to like Toronto or like Montreal. And in Ottawa, people are a little bit more laid back, and they're not as obsessed with status and things like that. But then you go to a city like Toronto, and it's kind of like Sydney. People are just a bit more fast paced, so not rude, but just to themselves and like
Yeah.
a little bit less
I
interactive.
mean, you can say people in Sydney are rude.
I don't know. I don't know if it's rude or just like
You're hanging out with the wrong people, Jamie.
yeah.
Sorry,
It definitely is, though. They said that it,
Gotta-
apparently
bro. We gotta
loneliness.
part ways.
They
I'll applaud myself. It's cool. Hey.
no,
None of
they have done studies that they say, in the bigger the city, the more lonely people get, because I don't know what the reason
There's
is.
too much going on.
It's hard to maintain. It's
block
hard
it
to
out.
maintain like proper,
Yeah.
meaningful relationships when you have too many relationships. Like the
I
more
love
that you
saying
have,
hello to people in elevators.
Hello.
Oh fuck, they
yeah.
feel awkward.
Yeah.
Also, I mean,
I love getting said hello to in elevators.
really,
Yeah, I think it's cool. It's like, you want to do that? That's
You're-
cool. I don't have the balls, but you did.
you do that,
and I
sir.
like that.
Fuck
Yeah.
yes.
I just
Most
miss-
of the time, it's just old people being like, "What a day," and I'm like,
What a day! What a day!
"What a day! What a day!"
Who would have thought I could have gone upstairs without taking the stairs?
Yeah. Elevators.
Elevators, mate.
Cracker.
Cracker.
We do this thing where
Oh god.
whenever we make a song with Rachad, aka Drake,
Shout out Drake.
we
Fifi.
when I say we, I mean me. Re-sing all his lyrics but with the most Ocker Australian accent that I could muster.
Delicious.
It's not even the fact that he sings it in Australia. It's the way that they do it. So we'd be in like a session. Like I remember the last song that we did on the album. We finished the session, and I went outside for like a little bit. I was like drinking or whatever, and I was like a little bit drunk at this point. I came back inside, and everybody was just acting like statues. Like just kind of like hitting. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I was already like intoxicated. I'm like, I know they did something stupid, but I just don't have time for it. Like and I don't have enough energy for it. I want to relax.
So does he get cranky when he gets a little bit maggot?
No.
So does maggot mean getting fucked up? Is
Yeah,
that what it
yeah.
means?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you think of look at a maggot. It's like it's curling like this on the floor.
It's just dancing, and having fun. Just
Well,
doing
you're
it,
dancing
you
wrong
know?
if that's how you look.
I mean,
But what happens when you get
I have
drunk?
no complaints.
You look like a maggot.
When I get drunk.
Yeah.
I
You
just
dancing, you know, like you do the same
mean,
things.
You dancing like a maggot.
Depends what kind of drunk. You know? You done though.
I'm so missed.
But yeah, so continue this story because I like this story.
Yeah. So I
my
remember
favorite.
I was sitting on like a beanbag. We're all laying down, and at this point, like the vocals are kind of muted, so we're just finishing the beat. And when I say we, it's me.
I can see where this is going.
It's me laying on a beanbag, just like finally relaxing for a minute, and then all the boys just sitting there staring at me, except for like Jamie and Mark, who I know have schemed something that's gonna stress me the fuck out.
And at this point, you're getting some
At
warning
this,
flags.
At this point, I was like, all right, how am I going to react to this? Because I can't give them the reaction that they want because they'll keep doing it. But also I have no self-control when it comes to the homies. Like, if I'm mad, they know.
And also, any reaction is a reaction to us. We don't need one. We just continue.
Like, this is just dumb shit, man.
He's still giving the reaction.
Man,
Stop feeding the beast.
I'm not trying to beat it. I'm just, they need to know. Like, because people don't see. They don't see in the sessions. You know what I'm saying?
This is what we call session etiquette
the
101.
ones that, oh my God. The ones that do come into our sessions and actually experience it, they'll feel sorry for me for 5 minutes and then they'll join in and realize it's so much more fun to join in.
Fucking oath. You feed it.
Can you help, please? Like, you're watching this unveil and I'm still like,
I've never seen Drake so angry
I'm
before.
literally sitting over here and I'm like, how did he get to Australia?
How did he get to
I like
Australia?
to Australia. Why would they let him in?
Yes.
He's got these Canadian accent skills. I'm like,
We will answer that after this story.
Anyways.
All right, cool. So you're about to cry.
At this point, I'm like ready for it. And then like, they didn't do anything. They didn't play anything. They just kept playing the song normally. And then out of nowhere, they let the song play. So the first verse of the track and the hook, and I'm into it. Because you know the first time you hear a track, when it's done, like
You're
we
hyped.
all step back, you're hyped. And I was
with Ray's vocals.
Yeah, my vocals were in there,
Instead of it
first
just being the
verse.
beat, like it was like we
Yeah.
were like, okay, let's have a full listen of the whole track.
First verse is dope. Second verse is dope. I'm hearing these ad libs. It was my first time like learning to sing properly too. So I was like excited. I sound good for once. And then all of a sudden, the second verse hits, and it's not my voice. It's Jamie's voice, and it's Jamie re-singing my whole like verse in a super Australian accent. And when I first moved here, like before I moved to this country, I had like a traumatic experience. Like my mom sent me like a little care package, and she said, "This is what you can expect from Australia when you move here."
Was it a pile of shit?
Bro, you can't talk about Vegemite like that.
Funnily enough, that was one of the things in a canned pile of shit. Yeah, it was like Vegemite and Tim Tams, and that was all good. But she sent me a box set of Carl Barron
how's it
DVDs,
going?
and she said this is what people sound like in Australia. And so I'm Canadian. I'm like, I don't know what any of these words are. I was like, I'm stressed out. I found out that something this small can kill you. And kind of the smallest thing that can kill you is a big bear, and he probably is gonna leave you alone anyways. He's too polite. So like, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm traumatized by like this accent situation, like the way that they do it, and. Oh my God, the realization of like hearing my hook and then Jamie singing in an Ocker accent, I was like, must have been the most uncomfortable I've ever been. It was like wearing sandpaper underwear. It was just not a pleasant thing. And they let it run. Like he killed the take. I'm not gonna lie. Like we might
dropped some bars?
still, you know. And it was like, yeah. And it was like it's supposed to be sensual. And like I was getting ready to really get into the emotion of it, and then, yeah, a break from being.
So like when you're having sex and like someone farts.
Yeah.
Halfway
Yeah.
through.
Oh
It's
my
two ways,
God.
bro. You lean into it or you let it make it awkward.
That's never.
To
I've
be
never
fair, I don't know how you
experienced
come
that.
back out of someone farting
You
during
just gotta
sex.
do it, bro.
Yeah, it's not probably not a good look. That's
Okay,
even
that's
worse.
like-
Stacey, no one wants to do a 69 and fart.
Someone asked
That's
Takashi. Yeah.
Someone asked
My
Takashi.
wife? What?
So someone.
Oh my God.
How did my wife double down on the grossness?
I told you this kind of stuff will be brought up when I'm on your podcast. So I gave you all the warning.
No, bring it up. I like it.
Yeah.
So now we just do it every time. We're in like.
Oh,
A
and then I
situation.
passed out. By the end of the story is I
Oh my God, I
decided
forgot this.
I decided to get even more lit to forget what just happened.
Oh, that's good. Drink your problems away.
Yeah.
That solves everything.
And so I passed out on the I passed out on the
Double down.
beanbag, and instead of my boys, you see your homie or like
Bro, you passed out on the floor. It wasn't the beanbag.
it was a beanbag.
No.
It was
You
half
moved.
beanbag, half floor. My ass was on the floor, but my upper half was on the beanbag. You done though, all right?
No, it was on the floor
No,
because we put we.
go ahead.
Fuck yeah.
Enlighten them.
So Ray passed out on the floor. So we decided to have
Motherfuckers.
more fun.
Of course you do.
You know, like
double
we're-
down. You double
we,
down.
We
on
just
it.
did a massive session. I had to sing because the vocals had to be good. So
That's true. Yeah. And it sounds like you really polished that
Look,
turd.
you know what? I did a really good job. I'm not gonna lie.
He killed the take.
Yeah. It was. I'd do it a cappella.
Drop some
one
bars
day.
right now.
No. We aren't ready for that yet. But so Ray passed out on the floor, obviously because he felt so.
Drank his problems away.
Well, no, it was because my voice was so angelic.
Did he
just-
cry?
Yeah, tears, real tears.
That's so harsh.
Heart cry.
Your heart definitely cried, bro. Your face was just like.
This is why people think I'm emotional. I always try and convince people I'm not as sensitive as I seem. or
Yeah, but when you
emotional.
can't,
then
you
I
can't tell
talk.
someone.
And he's like, no. So he passed out on the ground. So we decided there was like we ordered Uber Eats and all this other stuff.
Did it come on time?
Yeah, always.
Because you ordered?
Yeah. But we had all these like things. We had stuff. We had stuff. We had like a Pringles box or whatever.
Pizza boxes.
Pizza boxes. It's like a 1.25 liter of Pepsi or something. So we decided to see how much we could put on / around Ray.
Before I wake up.
Before
Oh, like
he
those
woke up.
balancing rock art pieces.
Yeah. We
Oh,
were just
cool.
we were creating
True
art.
artists. True
You know what I
artists.
mean?
It's good.
Art in everywhere we go.
You guys are just born artists. And you are a
He was our inspiration.
Sculpture.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He was our inspiration for the whole
Friendship.
piece.
yeah.
Friendships.
The killer was I had a pair of I had those round pair of sunnies.
Yes.
Like the gold and
Like,
like
pink or
Sexy
pink
as fuck.
pink
so.
pink lens, pink glasses, and then like a gold frame.
Mm-hmm.
So we put them over his face. Mark held it over his face and took a picture, and it's just all this fucking like trash, like outlined his body, and then him just like.
And instead of just allowing that to happen, have a one evening, like we just remember that for what it was once. No, it became naturally Jamie's lock screen for 2.5 years after that.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you got to be remembered of good times.
Hey, you know what? I'm just like you were talking about before, like you write things down to remember the emotion and things like that. So if you have to come back to the session,
I'm not
you
gonna
can
like
do
what
it
you're
again.
about to say. I'm not gonna like.
So I just really wanted to remember that time.
I knew I wasn't gonna like what you were about to say.
You should write a song called Pizza Box.
Maybe.
Yeah. Pizza box.
I feel like you guys are trying to think of a lyric
I'm
right
try-
now.
yeah.
It's just nothing's coming.
Bro, it's been a long week. I
I
can't
just
think
want
of
pizza.
I couldn't think of words the other day. Like, no, the other 2 hours ago. I
Oh,
couldn't
another
think of
podcast?
case study.
Case study.
Could not think. I was like references.
Quesadilla? I don't
Lawyers
know.
use them. That was my thing.
Lawyers use them.
Oh
Yeah.
my
I was like, fiduciary?
Yeah, fiduciary.
It's horrible. But no, that was a really
Yeah,
fun time.
that was
You
a
got
fun-
to entertain yourself in
The
sessions
process.
sometimes.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And you got to be able to take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll never know when they hear the song though. It's like a super serious, like
Oh no, they'll know.
moody song, but
So
How-
this is another thing we've told Ray, that when he goes to release the project, we're swapping all the final files
Oh, yeah.
with me singing all of the tracks in the
Just
Ocker
this big
accent.
debut. Like,
This
everyone listen to my
huge,
tracks.
hasn't released music in a
I
while.
love you, baby.
It's break from being faded, yeah.
the Raptors played a game 7 yesterday, and this is still the most stressful part of my week. Fuck.
Oh man,
So why couldn't we bring up the Raptors?
they lost.
Oh.
What did we talk about?
Oh, you said don't bring something up, so I was going to bring it up.
You said not to talk about
like
it,
the
so we
one,
were
you
It's
know,
like saying don't push the red button. I'm going to press the red
It's
button.
like a big ass button though, no? Like
Zesty.
Exactly my point. You
There's
press
noth-
the red button.
It's a red button.
Yeah.
that's like more pinkish.
Zesty.
It's red. Exactly the same red.
Yeah. But so they
It's
lost.
a ruby hue.
That sucks.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey man, you know what? Next year.
Did you
Let's-
drink your sorrows away?
Let's not.
We'll
I
get 'em.
did yesterday. Yeah.
You definitely.
That is
got
not a good
lit
coping
last night.
mechanism at all.
Podcast before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one podcast before was talking about don't drink your problems away.
Nah. Drink and then write about them. Like that's you know what I mean. Like
Hey, everyone's got their process of writing. music.
yeah.
We don't condone over drinking on this podcast, so please don't.
As long as there's pizza
They don't
boxes
condone
involved.
over drinking on this podcast. Hit me up. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
Holla at your boy.
No. Drink safe, guys. Drink
Yeah.
safe.
Drink
Drink
responsibly.
cocktails,
Gin and tonics.
gin and tonics,
Vespers.
not with Malibu.
What, Vespa? Red Bull?
Vespa Martini.
Vespa martinis are the shit. dude.
Bro,
What's
two
a
parts
Vespa,
gin, one
bro?
part vodka.
Half a shot of Little A.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. It
Zest.
is the James Bond Martini.
Yeah, it's fucking wicked. I don't even drink, but if I do, I drink that. And it just
Oh.
it's funny because people look at it because it's in a martini glass and everyone's like, what is that? What is
Yeah.
that gay drink?
It'll
And
kill
I go
you.
have a sip. And they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'll stick to my beer. I'm like, pussy.
Yeah,
But yeah.
it's beautiful. I'd definitely
Recommend?
We'll have them.
I'm not huge on like vodka,
It's fine. Don't
but
even
like
worry
I'm
about
always willing to try.
it. The Lillet really like
It makes it
balances
better,
out.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the lemon zest. It's great.
Zest is always
Zesty.
good.
Oh, shit.
Zesty.
Oh, shit, I pressed it twice. Sorry, guys.
I like that.
Yeah.
No, it's actually you know what? It's actually a really well balanced drink.
It's very good.
We'll give it a go.
Such
We'll
a
give it
bartender.
go.
Well balanced.
Give it a go, mate.
Give it a little go. I ain't worried about me.
So,
on, son.
are you feeling okay with the fact that Keeping Up the Kardashians is now over? What are you watching now?
What am I watching now? I always watch like the same shows on repeat when I want to go to sleep. I've got like a rotation of shows. But I'm only watching two shows. I'm watching an anime called Inuyasha. It was something that I watched when I was like a lot
Like
younger.
hentai?
No. Is it? No, I'm just playing. I'm not into that.
He really rubbed the
yeah.
table sensually then, like he was dispersing awkward thing. Like just don't
I was
watch
just,
it.
yeah. I'm like
I've got
marking my-
nothing against
marking
it.
my territory.
Never
It's just-
watched it.
It's not for me.
No,
No.
don't like beasts.
I don't like pornography as much as like most people in general. So like
Oh, it's porn.
hentai.
I'm joking.
Oh. I was about to go into a 45-minute
Look, he's
explanation.
just double
of
grabbing
like,
his thing. Going, I
Yeah.
don't watch it.
We're ready.
Yeah. Sorry, mom. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you mind watching this?
She probably will be. Yeah.
Shout out, Mrs. Drake.
No, I do have to go to your house again though.
You do. Yeah.
Drink with your mum and dad.
And then explain the conversations that we had like here to
I don't
them.
think
No.
there's anything for me to explain.
Just
really.
ignore it, like
Yeah.
the squid.
Yeah. What squid?
I'll just bring some gin and some scotch and that'll
Yeah.
be fine.
My parents love Jamie. Like,
Who doesn't?
yeah.
Does anyone actually dislike you?
I have no idea.
It's so
Um,
hard to find.
Do you know someone who dislikes me?
No.
He's sitting across the table.
I know a lot of people who don't appreciate you enough.
Oh, enough.
enough.
I was like,
Okay.
you had me in the first half.
Yeah.
There. You had me. You cheeky bastard.
Yeah.
Come on, son.
Stop it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if somebody does, please hit me up. But I'd love to know why.
Don't hit him, but hit him up.
Come on, bro. Either or. If you
From my
gotta do
experience,
it,
I think he prefers to be
hit.
hit.
You like a rough?
Yeah, I have a safe word.
Zesty.
That's a dangerous word. That ain't no safe word.
That is
know.
not a
I
safe
feel
word,
like
bro.
you
That
Don't
is
drop
like,
zesty.
That
and
is
think
like-
that that's a safe thing.
Yeah, he's like,
yeah, that's like, it's like, oh, so what are we going to do tonight? Make some music, whatever. It's Zesty. So we go to the bottle shop.
Yeah, exactly.
Away we must.
Or it's like trying to have like a nice drink with a platonic friend that you're not trying to like link or anything like that, and then playing like Teddy Pendergrass or like
Zesty.
exactly,
Zesty.
Exactly.
Zesty.
exactly.
You don't press it to stop. It's a short clip. Anyway.
No, it stopped by itself. Stop.
Stopped by it. It has stopped by the
Stopped
data.
by itself. Well, I think we've been talking shit for long enough.
To be fair, the conversation started with maggots, so may as well finish with shit.
How do you even get on maggots? Oh, you asked if I was dancing like a maggot. Yeah, no.
No, because you
That's right.
were unsure of where the saying came from.
Yeah. I'm still learning.
Makes sense.
Trolleyed.
I'm giving it a
legless?
go.
Legless.
I'm giving it a go.
Red hot go.
Yeah.
Go on, son.
Wow, that is amazing.
Sounds like my It sounds
Yeah,
like
A
you know what's
break
crazy?
from being faded.
When I first moved, like fuck, I'm gonna move.
Sipping on what I created, yeah. That's what it sounded like. But like with auto tune and reverb. Full
So
on
accurate.
vocal chain.
Separate on the credit.
So good.
People like call me Ray, like that's like my nickname. And it's like been a nickname since I was a lot younger. People are like, why would your nickname be Ray? It sounds nothing like Rachad. And shout out my friends who call me Raymond as a result.
Thank you,
I've been
Stacey.
called. I've
You
been-
just got fed another nickname. Thanks,
Bro.
Stacey. You've ruined his life.
Shout out Angelina at Miami Port Customs because she looked at my passport, looked me dead in the eyes, and said, Ratchet. And I'll never forget that woman. So when I make it, I'm going to find you and look you in the eyes and say, I made it despite you not trying to see me win.
Ratchet.
Ratchet's
Call
the
me
new
Ratchet.
thing.
So many like beautiful people around me. I was like walking on this cruise ship, like all excited, whatever. Like, yeah, I'm feeling myself today. Did not
Why were
end
you
the day
feeling
with the
yourself
same
in public?
energy, you know? What?
Do you not?
I mean, sometimes.
You gotta feel yourself.
You have to.
Whereabouts?
Everywhere.
Upper leg?
Everywhere.
Lower leg?
Confidence. That's not your song, so I can do that.
Wait. So what's the story of how you got into Australia? Was it the Ratchet story?
Nah, that's just
No, you
fun
just-
facts.
yeah.
How I got into Australia. So my mom's Australian. She's born here.
Oh.
Yeah, so she's second generation Lebanese. My dad's first generation. So my dad's lived all over the world, but ended up in Ottawa, living close by to my uncle and my auntie that lived there. And then he met my mom on holidays because my grandparents are kind of like family friends. So my mom's grandmother and my dad's sister are like really tight. And then they met that way. My mom eventually moved to Canada, where I was born. And then 10 years later, she decided that it was too cold.
My mum
And,
did that with Melbourne.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
Took her 1 year.
You're born in Melbourne.
Yeah. Don't judge me.
Crazy.
I don't. Not at all.
Yeah.
I'm glad you moved. I'll be in lockdown right now.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Craziness.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we moved here when I was like 10 years old. And yeah, I've been here ever since. But I go back like every year, at least once.
Except for 2020.
Yeah. Well, December, I should be back there in December.
Facts. Do you reckon we'll be able to fly?
I'm allowed. I got like the authorization because I'm a national. Like,
Have you seen the return flights?
Yo, so you know what it actually costed me? How crazy is this? $850 return. Like,
Return?
I swear to God.
Are you
yeah,
sure? Because Stacey and I were
100%.
looking at that, and it was to
It's like 2 weeks from now.
okay, to fly to, like, if you want to fly to Hawaii now,
Yeah.
$700 that way. If you want to return,
It's like $3,000.
$8,000.
Oh my
something
God.
$12,000 plus you got to pay $3,000 for the hotel. So if
Yeah.
we wanted to go to America and back in the it'd cost us $15K each
Yeah, it's messed up.
to get. I'm like, fuck that.
That's
Fucked up.
gross.
Yeah, that's the only reason why. Like, so the ticket that I got was like fully refundable, and like if in Canada you don't have to quarantine in a hotel, you can quarantine at a house, which is cool for me because I just bring my laptop, my setup, and just like spend 2 weeks. Just
It
recording.
sounds good, but I think after like a few days of you not being able to leave that room,
Yeah,
you're gonna, I mean, either get really crazy or get really creative.
I don't know if I can get any crazier. I think I'm pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That's not really scary. I'm sort of a fun person.
feel
I still
like-
watch Nickelodeon, so like I'm not that like serious. Like,
That didn't make it better.
jeez.
I watch old Cartoon Network's reruns.
What's wrong with Cartoon Network
Right,
reruns?
I've
To be
got
fair,
nothing
whenever
wrong
you
with that.
see those hostage movies, there's cartoons in the
Always
background
cartoons in the
every
background.
time.
Yeah, I never noticed.
Always.
Is it?
Never
I'm
noticed.
worried a little bit.
Well,
It's
no,
weird
you
'cause
wouldn't
I
notice
play-
because you're in them.
I play whenever I'm like,
Just sharpening his knives in the background.
I'm used to it. It's like I'm numb now, you know? Like it doesn't even hurt the same anymore.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does.
Oh my gosh.
Oh Lord.
All right. Cool.
I think we're good.
Let's end that on the fact that he's potentially a psycho killer.
Yeah,
Yeah, cool.
But we love him.
We love him.
I love you too.
Thank you.
thank
Is
you
that what y'all waiting for?
Yeah.
Was
I
ready
had to
for the
double check.
reciprocation.
But,
Yeah, reciprocation's important.
Where can people find you and listen to some music when it comes out?
He finds them.
Wow. I was just going to leave it, but now, yeah, where can
It's
you
like
find people?
super mysterious, but just in case you don't have the patience to wait for me to find you, you can follow me on Spotify, Apple Music, all the streaming services. I'm under Rachad, which is my real name, all lowercase, Rachad. My Instagram is Rachad Seydu, so RACHADSCDU.
Love it.
Those are probably my two most active. But like, yeah, just type in Rachad everywhere. I feel like it's not really that common of a name. You should be able to find me. And if not, just wait.
I'll find you.
I'll make my way. Shout out Liam Neeson.
I'll come get you.
Oh, come get you.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
All right, man.
guys, thank you for coming on.
No, I appreciate you.
Rachad. And guys, thank you for watching again. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button.
Because otherwise, if you don't, he's going to come to your house.